All right, I saw your question on Reddit regarding basically fifth and fourth finger. Fifth finger, you got the pinkies, the flyaway pinkies, very common problem. One that I'm working on right now. So I'm going to talk to you about that. And then the other thing you asked about is the strengthening of these ring fingers or fourth finger. They're kind of related, so it's a good combo of questions to tackle. So when we start with the flyaway pinkies, first of all, why is it a problem? Who cares? Maybe it looks kind of cool to play with your pinkies up. The problem, of course, is if you're playing something, particularly a more rapid passage, and all of your other fingers are sort of in this ready state on or near the keyboard, and your pinky's an inch and a half above, it's got a lot of distance to travel down to do its job. So you're going to probably get lateness with that pinky. So you're not going to be good and even rhythmically. The other thing is you're probably going to get some unwanted accents. So just from a pure playing standpoint, the flyaway pinkies are a problem. But what might actually be more sinister is the underlying problem that they are a symptom of. And as I've talked about this with my teacher, she's explained to me that it is tension in your fingers that is leading to these flyaway pinkies. And so if you can solve the tension problem, you'll tend to solve the pinky problem as well. And that's important to know, because as we know in problem solving, if you just address the symptoms, sometimes you're going to continue to have the ongoing problem unless you really get at what the root cause is. So what she's explained to me, and what really makes sense to me, is that I have over the years been a very fingery pianist. And I'm exaggerating here, but I'm playing these 5 notes all with my fingers. And so she says you will, of course, continue to, when you play, you will articulate the notes with your fingers, but get a little bit of gentle wrist rotation involved, where you rock back and forth, kind of rocking back and forth between your thumb and fifth finger, and the fulcrum of this pivot is on your third or middle finger. So if I just think of getting a little bit more of that involved, there's less tension for the finger because they're not having to do everything. In fact, if you took it to an extreme, I could actually articulate the notes without moving my fingers at all. And that's almost where my thought is, if I had oven mitts on, I know this is stupid, but if you had oven mitts on, so you couldn't, it didn't matter if you were wiggling your fingers inside, it would only be the oven mitt that is actually articulating the notes. And so I do that as a way of thinking about just trying to get that gentle rotation in. And so then when I apply it, say to a piece like this one here, this is an exercise I'm doing in the Czerny Art of Finger Dexterity for the piano. It's got a rapid passage like this. So I'm thinking about just introducing a bit more of that rotation. And I'm very cognizant of what is Mr. Pinky doing. And what I'm finding is, if I focus on 2 things, A, just introducing a bit more of that pivot and not biasing myself towards my stronger, more awesome fingers, 3, 2, 1, the pinky problem is starting to go away a little bit. The other thing I'm focusing on is not so much how I sound, although I would love to sound awesome. I'm thinking about, how do I feel? Am I feeling tension, particularly as the tempo goes up? Just like you said, at slower tempos, you're okay. But as you increase your speed, the pinkies tend to go up. And I think that reinforces the fact that maybe at those higher tempos, you're feeling the tension. And so therefore, that pinky manifestation is happening. So this is what's working for me. I don't know if it'll work for you, but I would encourage you to introduce this kind of rotation and think about the tension that you're feeling. I even try to smile. Believe it or not, while I'm playing this exercise, I try to smile as a way to kind of bring the temperature down and just enjoy playing these passages. I'm about 2 weeks into this, and I'm starting to see a little bit of progress where I hadn't before in previous attempts to fix this flyaway pinky. So what I'm doing is I'm time boxing this summer. And I'm going to faithfully do this exercise and others like it in an effort to calm that down. I'm going to see how it goes. I think there's lots of different ways. You'd ask, in my opinion, what is the best way? I don't know that I can tell you that, but I can tell you what is starting to work for me. And so this might be something that you want to give a shot also. Okay, now we're going to work inwards. We started with the pinkies. We're going to come to these fourth fingers. And I'm going to encourage you not to think about strengthening the fourth finger so much as building its independence. You may or may not know this, but in our hands and forearms, the fourth finger and the fifth finger share a tendon. Who came up with that design? I don't know. These three get their own. Great for them, but these two need to share a tendon. So for that reason, it's awkward for everybody. If you're feeling like it's awkward with your fourth and fifth finger, you're not alone. But you can build it up. And so there's a couple of things that I would suggest you work on. One is, and this is available online, get the Czerny Art of Finger Dexterity, and it's got lots of great exercises. And there are some passages in here, if I do my left hand, where I'm going to have to go and it's nasty, but it's really good for building up that independence. The other thing you can take a look online for is the Hanon exercises, and you may know about these already, but if you don't, Hanon wrote these exercises under the title of the Virtuoso Pianist. Don't worry, you don't have to be shooting to be a virtuoso, but they're great exercises. And there's some in there that you can see really target that alternating 5/4 pattern. And I tried to look it up for you quickly, and I couldn't find which one it was, but one of them goes, oh, nasty. So da 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 da, and then you get it on both hands all the way up. Too easy? Amp up the tempo, but it's a really good way for you to work on that 4/5. Not only because of the alternation, but it's 5/4, 5/4, 5, and then the 4 actually has to go up to the 4 across a third. So that there's just a little bit of lateral work as well for that fourth finger. So it's a really good exercise. I would encourage you to have a look at those. So it's great that you're tackling these things now. Because what it's going to do as you move on to more and more advanced and rewarding repertoire, not only can you tackle it more readily, but you're going to be able to play it up to your expectations. So I hope this helps. All the best with those extremities.